Hey guys, and welcome to my review of Cultic, developed by Jason Smith and released on Steam October 13th, 2022. Cultic is an old-school first-person shooter published by 3D Realms, the creators of Duke Nukem. When I first saw Cultic on the Steam store, I thought it was a sequel to the game Blood from 1997. There's no doubt this game is a love letter to that one, from the early 20th century setting to the weapons, enemies and graphics. I wasn't sure if we'd ever get another entry in the Blood series, so I was stoked to see Cultic was in development. For those of you that played Blood, this will seem immediately familiar in atmosphere and gameplay. So on to the game. Cultic starts you off as a nameless detective investigating a series of kidnappings and killings that have been happening in your county. You are taken off the case for unknown reasons and decide to do some investigating for yourself. The first level starts you off in a graveyard with a pistol. The only story entries you get from here on out are in the form of notes left by cult members and letters on typewriters. You can ignore the story if you like, but the flavour and atmosphere that it adds are well worth it. As a retro shooter, the game is pretty simple. You must fight your way through a series of increasingly difficult locales to dig further into the mystery. It starts off fairly easy in the first level, with standard cultist enemies, but very quickly increases in difficulty. You'll encounter chainsaw-wielding zombies, snipers, ghosts, skeletons, and mini-bosses. The levels in Cultic are intricate, well-made, and sometimes labyrinthian, and they all reward exploration. Each level typically tasks you with finding an item to open a door or turn on a generator, or something of that nature. There are also secrets hidden around that include ammunition and an item called weapon parts. These weapon parts allow you to upgrade your weapons throughout the game, which is absolutely necessary on harder difficulties, so it's always worth taking a look around. A gripe I have with some older FPS games is the lack of dimension to the gunplay. I feel with Cultic you are forced to pick your weapon upgrades wisely and make sure you alternate weapons to conserve ammunition, as well as picking the right gun for the right enemy. This all adds depth to the game and makes you think about your choices rather than just picking the strongest gun and using that 24/7. You have a range of weapons at your disposal, ranging from the lever action rifle to flamethrower to dynamite, my favourite being the double barrel shotgun, which is as deeply satisfying as you can imagine. Aside from the weapons, the game has an emphasis on using your environment to your advantage. This can range from throwing lanterns at enemies to moving boxes to get to certain secret areas, and of course, exploding barrels. So what's the verdict? Cultic is a love letter to shooters of a bygone era, but it's been upgraded and tweaked to include intense gore, slow motion effects, weapon upgrade systems, and more enemies on screen. It doesn't feel like a game that's trying to cash in on nostalgia, even though it may seem so. Sometimes when you play a game you can feel how much time and care has been taken in creating a world and mechanics, and this is one of those games. There's an attention to detail as well as a simplicity that I think new and older players of the genre will find deeply satisfying. You can pick up Cultic for $14.50 on the Steam store. This gives you access to 10 levels which make up Chapter 1. It took me about 5 hours to finish going at medium speed and playing on hard difficulty, so I feel $14 is a reasonable price for what you're getting. A further second chapter is planned as a paid downloadable content in the future, but no release date has been mentioned yet. As it's a one-man development team, and the game was full marks for me, I'm more than happy to wait. I definitely recommend this one if you're into retro FPS. I'm going to leave it at that guys. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch my review, and I'll catch you on the next one.